Hi honey, how are you? It's Teknikolour. Today I have something a little fun to share with you. This past weekend was Mother's Day here in the United States, and I actually built my mother's dream cottage in Henford-on-Bagley with my mom on my Twitch stream. Let's check it out. So if you've been to my Twitch streams before, you probably recognize both of my parents since they do pop into chat quite a fair amount. But I had previously done a stream with my dad where we had played through Disney's World of Illusion. And that was a game that the two of us had played when I was a kid. We never actually beat, but apparently we came pretty close to beating it. But we wanted to play it on stream together. And as an unlock in one of my birthday or anniversary streams, my chat had unlocked it. So we had played that together. My mom is a little bit more easily motion sick when it comes to video games. So I still wanted to do a stream with her, but I wasn't sure what I could do until I had the idea to have her on and we could design a cottage or a house or whatever together in The Sims 4. My mom is a big fan of like the English cottage look, and I thought that this would be kind of perfect. So we decided to build her dream cottage on my Twitch stream the day before Mother's Day, which was this past weekend. And you'll see here at the very start of it, I started to build a shell and try to figure out the roofing, which my boyfriend helped me with the roofing a little bit because I don't know, when there's a second story and the cottage with the way the roofs all go together, for some reason, I just stress out and I can never figure it out. I will eventually get better at roofing, but not today. But I decided I wanted to have a little bit of a shell just so I could have some sort of a like base to show my mom. And then she could say, okay, I do like that. I don't like that. I want to add this. I want to add that. And then we could just get into the actual designing of the cottage. But she basically liked the overall shape of this. We only made some minor adjustments. And then we started to build together. And it was actually kind of fun because my mom was a little bit nervous for it. And then she got really into it because I knew it was going to be a lot. I probably should have uninstalled everything except for like cottage living and maybe like horse ranch at the very start of it, just so she would be less overwhelmed because I have a lot of packs and there's a lot of options to choose from. I tried to showcase cottage living a lot just so that my mom would get a little less overwhelmed by all the choices that we have. But it was really cute because my mom was getting really into it. And it was also really funny because a lot of the choices that she had made were kind of shocking to me. I don't know that I would have expected her to pick those items or those swatches. And it was also really funny to me because I would sometimes suggest a few different items or different swatches, and she surprised me. Those were the items that she didn't like. I was like, oh, I've been playing this game wrong, thinking that you would like these. Because a lot of times I've even said in my builds before, like, oh, this is an item that like reminds me of my mom. It looks like something that she would like. And she didn't end up liking it, which I thought was really funny. It was also kind of funny because my dad was also here. My boyfriend and my dad were in the living room of our apartment. And this is the bedroom of Andy and my apartments. And so my mom and I were in here, and my dad and my boyfriend were in the living room. And my dad apparently was looking over at Andy and being like, she's going to pick this, or she's going to want that, or... And I just thought it was so funny. And apparently so was Andy. Andy was like, oh, I think she'll like that, or, oh, she'll like this. So it was kind of funny to see, well, I didn't see, but for them to tell us afterwards, things that like they knew that she was going to want. I don't know. It was just very fun. And overall, I think a very enjoyable stream. I think my mom also had a really good time. And it was just really nice to kind of like share, I don't know, both of my parents with my Twitch community. So that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. You can see here, we started out by picking a door and on windows. My mom is a little confused with the dormers that we're working on here because I don't think she realized that these were walls, and she didn't like that the windows didn't go to the edges, which I don't think we can actually do in The Sims. I think the only way that we would be able to achieve that is to use the item dormers, but then those aren't functional windows either. I think I wanted functional windows over anything, so we went with that. We also had a lot of fun starting to pick out some landscaping until I was like, this is gonna take us a really long time, and we really only have like 3 to 4 hours. So let's work on the inside. And I am so glad we did, because we ended up not really getting to do a lot of the landscaping on the outside. So maybe I'll have my mom back. Maybe we can revisit this in the future. Maybe we'll have a revamped version. But it was really cute to see her get really into the builds. From the start, had a vision in place for what she wanted for her entryway, for her kitchen. So she did do the homework that I asked her. I was like, try to come up with an idea in your head of what you want your dream cottage to look like. And by that, I mean, like, do you want like a half bath on the main floor? Do you want 2 floors even? Do you want multiple bedrooms? Just one? Do you want a living room with a TV? Do you not want that? Do you want a greenhouse? Like, what do you want? And it was very interesting to see, like, around here, things really starting to come into place. I also noticed that there were some points where she didn't really know what to do, and she's not familiar with The Sims really. She's only seen like my playing of it on stream and maybe some of these YouTube videos. So I would like kind of gently nudge her like, okay, well, why don't we add this to this room? Or why don't we work on this right now? And then we would eventually like make our way back to another room or something. And it was just very interesting because she had very clear ideas in mind for what she wanted in specific places. And sometimes I would have a suggestion. Sometimes she didn't like it. Sometimes she liked it. I don't know. It was just very interesting because I love The Sims. I am very much obsessed with building. And it was really fun to see her gravitate towards certain items. She also, which kind of surprised me, she gravitated towards a lot of green in this build. And green is my favorite color, but it's also my dad's favorite color. It's not her favorite color though. So I thought that was a little interesting. I think her favorite color is red, but she really didn't pick any red in any of this. She was going to pick red for some item. Don't really remember what it was, but then she decided against it. I was also showcasing a couple of different items in certain categories. Like for instance, we were looking at lamps and she was like, "Ooh, what's this lamp?" And I'm like, "You're not gonna like it." Because the lamp that she liked was from Get to Work, and it's very Get to Work-esque, if that makes sense. It is very much not like a homey design. So she quickly said, not that. She also started to like a couple of items that I like, which was very fun because it's always nice to see your parents also like something that you like, but it's also interesting to see their own individual tastes and to see like what they don't like or what they do like that matches what you like or what you don't like. So it was very interesting. Like she wanted to see the seasons entry hall, jacket landing area, whatever those are called. And she didn't like it. The second she saw it, she was like, not that. She also very interestingly gravitated towards trying to make the wood tones match all the same, which I thought was very funny because I need to make all my wood tones match. I don't know that I'm necessarily the greatest at doing it because the wood tones just don't really match in the game in general. But trying to get them as close as possible, that's kind of what you got to do. It was very exciting to see my mom get super excited about a game that I've come to love because if you didn't know, apparently, when my brother and I were younger, my parents asked if we would want The Sim. And neither of us were really into it. We really didn't know what it was. I don't think we knew anyone who had the game. We didn't really play computer games that much. And neither of us were into it, apparently. And I had heard about The Sims. And I don't know, even when I got older, it just, nothing about it was like popping out to me as something that I would particularly enjoy. I'm not really sure why, because it's probably one of my all-time favorite games now, but I don't know. I gravitated towards like Mario Kart or things like that. And it wasn't even until the pandemic, when Animal Crossing New Horizons had released, that I became very interested in games like that. And in general, that's basically when I became a streamer too. And Animal Crossing New Horizons and Splatoon are actually the games that kind of got me into being a streamer. And I quickly became the type of person who would spend ages designing Happy Home Paradise lots or designing my own house in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And everyone in my Twitch chat is like, Tech, do you play The Sims? You would love The Sims. Do you play The Sims? And every single time I was like, no, it's just never really done anything for me. I don't know that it's my kind of game. And literally every single person was like, you're wrong, you'll love it. They're like, you're wrong, you will love The Sims 4. And I don't remember what spurred me to check it out, but I did. And the rest is history. I'm obsessed with it now. I love the gameplay. I love building. I wouldn't say that I love Kaz, but I do get into Kaz. Like, if we, in my legacy challenge, if we are going to be giving a sim a makeover in Create a Sim, we spend a phenomenal amount of time because it takes me so long to pick everything. There's also so many items that I'm not that familiar with in Create a Sim that it does just take me a while to pick out something that I like and then decide, okay, well, this is it. This is what we're going to be giving them for their swimwear or for their party. It's also really funny because sometimes I gravitate towards the same thing over and over and over again. And then I'm like, I've given them the same outfit like 3 different times. It was just kind of shocking to me because The Sims 4 was never a game that was ever on my radar. And now it's one of my favorite games. I play The Sims 4 all the time. So it was just so exciting to see something that gives me a lot of joy and something that I'm playing a lot of the time. My mom was getting really into. So I don't know. It was just kind of exciting because it's always exciting when your parents are also like excited about something that you're interested in, especially as an adult. Something that made this an idea in my head that this could be a good stream with my mom was when I was younger, we would watch a lot of things like HGTV or gardening shows or interior design stuff. And my mom and I were probably the two who were the most interested. I don't know that my brother was as interested. My dad was probably like, yeah, that's all right. But I really enjoyed it, and so did my mom. So I knew that this was going to be a potential hit, and I think it was. I think she really loved it. I don't know that she would be able to play it quite as much because she did start to get a little motion sick towards the end because, as you can see, I moved the camera around a lot. I don't know how there are simmers who will just kind of like set the camera in like one position and then build the room and not really change the camera angle all that much. I'm constantly changing. I'm looking all around. I'm seeing it from different angles. I think that she would probably love this because she also is a fan of Animal Crossing New Horizons and she gets a kick out of building in there. So she was like, ooh, you can like change the angle like that, like with BB Move objects. She was just getting really, really interested in it. And plus, there's so many more items in The Sims 4 than there are in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I was just very, very pleased that she was having a good time because the stream that I did with my dad was really funny because the two of us, probably not the best platformers. Especially together, like playing a co-op game can be kind of difficult in general. So it was, I don't know, it was kind of fun to have both of those very different experiences, but the same sort of thing, like streaming to my community on Twitch with my parents, it was kind of fun to see like both. So yeah, I don't know if it's something that we'll be able to do again in the future, but I had a really good time. It's something that, I don't know, is probably going to stick with me because I know the stream that I did with my dad was like a fan favorite. A lot of people loved that stream, but I think a lot of people also enjoyed this stream because there's a lot of people who love the coziness of The Sims 4. And I don't know, a lot of people I think were interested also to see me with my mom, because it's always interesting to see somebody that you watch like basically every day, because I stream almost every single day over on Twitch. It's also interesting then to see that person with their parents and then also interacting with their parents. Like you can see like the mannerisms that you've inherited, like stuff like that. So I don't know. It was just a very good time. If you're wondering about the overall layout of this build, basically my mom decided that she kind of wanted a big entryway and then the stairs like directly in front of you. We ended up putting a bathroom behind the stairs and we were able to fit a bigger bathroom than we expected. And then she wanted her kitchen over on the right hand side with a fireplace, and I knew she was going to be very specific about the positioning of the chimneys and the fireplaces, even though I told her for the purposes of The Sims it doesn't need to be in the right spot, but she kind of wanted it. So there's the fireplaces on either end of the house, which is also similar to where the chimneys are. She was really excited to have that living room come together in the way it was because she's not a real big fan of television. Like I said, like we watched gardening shows, we watched interior design shows like growing up, but my mom's like never really been a big television person. She really loves reading. She really loves gardening. And she is not a big television person. My dad is. And she was like, this is my dream cottage. We are not putting a television in the living room. Somehow, towards the end of the stream, my mom ended up putting in like kind of a theater room upstairs. And so there's the primary bedroom, there's the primary bathroom, and then on the other end of the stairs is a theater room, which is basically to appease my dad, I think, which it was kind of funny to see that all come together as well. I don't know. It was kind of exciting. It was also kind of fun because my brother had actually stopped in to chat too. So that was kind of fun. And I don't think my mom even recognized his username. And I was like, that's your son. So that was kind of funny too. There was also a really weird thing happening here, which I was worried was going to happen because it happened to me the last time I built a cottage like this in Henford-on-Bagley. And the wall kept like becoming a wall, even though there was no wall there. So you see where like these dormers are, like the bump outs? It starts to add in a wall, even though there's no actual wall pieces there. And I don't understand why it's doing that. And my boyfriend couldn't figure it out either. So if anyone knows why that was happening, I would really appreciate if you could explain why. Because even if it's something that you can't really fix, I want to know why it was happening, and so I know like what to look for in the future or like how to build around that. So if you know, I would really appreciate it. Another thing that I should probably mention is in my Legacy Challenge, which I do play Tuesday and Thursday mornings, at least if you're on the Eastern Coast like I am. I play those on my Twitch channel Tuesday and Thursday mornings, and we play The Sims, and we're playing with my current family. This generation, we are a spellcaster. We are playing with paranormal stuff. So he's a paranormal investigator. And his dad just died today. I actually had him drink the potion so that like he would immediately be resurrected after he died. And that didn't happen. He just died. So we just lost him. I was not expecting it. I was expecting to plead, age him down, just so he would have a little more time, even though his wife, well, my heir's mom, the Sim who died's wife, I think I might make her immortal because she has like maxed out skills in so many different things, and she's one of my all-time favorite Sims. So I don't know if I want to let go of her. I don't know that we'll keep her in our household all the time, but I think I might want to have her just like immortal in my save. And We'll see. What do you think? Do you think that that's wise? Do you think that's a bad idea? Do you think it's a good idea? Let me know in the comments down below. I would really appreciate it, especially if you've had that sort of sim before in your saves. Is that something that you ended up regretting or something that you liked? I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. We maybe pave the way for our Generation 6 sim, our spellcaster, his daughter. We paved the way for her to maybe have a cousin. Because my heir, the spellcaster, Archie, his twin sister lives right next door, but she's married and she was not adopting a kid or having a kid. So I kind of just like made something happen, and we'll see if it actually took, because it'd be kind of cool to have a cousin, even though they're going to be much younger than us, because I think we're like 5 days away from becoming a teenager. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have done this sooner. I don't know. Did I make a mistake? I can't tell. But yeah, it's been kind of interesting because we are priming the way for our Generation 6 sim, Gemma Wyndham. She is going to be living in San Myshuno, and she is going to be our city living sim. And I don't really know what to expect with her, because the way we wrote my legacy challenge, my boyfriend and I, is that she has to start off, or this sim needs to start off in kind of like a rundown apartment and then make their way into like being able to have a penthouse. And generally the rules are for my sims are, when you have a kid, if you want your elder sims to move in with you, you're allowed to do that only after the baby is now a toddler and things in the family are more settled, So you can't really like speed things up. So if she's going to be starting off in a smaller apartment until she can afford to get a penthouse, I don't know how we figure that out. Like, are we building the penthouse like on the side until we can afford the cost of that? I think that might make the most sense, but we can also kind of like make our starter apartment something that looks like we live in it before we move in there. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Also, if you have ideas for what that starter apartment should be, let me know. It has to be one of those apartments that doesn't have one of the best traits. I know that there's like a quake zone for earthquakes. There's one for like, I think rats, maybe. I don't really know it that well. There's one for like the pipe's always bursting or something like that. There's not really favorable apartments. Those are the ones that we would have to be living in at the start. So if you have suggestions for which of those lots you like best, let me know. I would appreciate that. So we're nearing the end of the speed build right about now. So why don't we pop into the game and I can show you around where it's not kind of like zipping all over the place. So here we are in Henford-on-Bagley's Finchwick neighborhood, and this is my mom, Allie Bear's dream cottage. So as you can see, there's some benches out in front. There's not many windows everywhere. But it was more of a first build challenge for my mom. Maybe we can work our way up to something a little more visually appealing, at least from the outside. But on the inside, I think is beautiful. Let's look at the first floor. So you have this entryway here in the front, and then you come into the kitchen over here. And then there is a little bathroom. And then there is the living room / library. Upstairs, there is the primary bedroom. And then a little ensuite bathroom. And then in the hallway, there is another little area. This is that wall that I was saying, how it, like, there's nothing here to delete. I did put fencing here, but it went away. So I don't really get it. And then here is the theater room, mostly to appease my dad. So that is Allie Bear's dream cottage. I really hope you liked this video. I really enjoyed building this with my mom, and I don't know, maybe we could do something like this again. If you would like to see more content like this, I do a ton of Sims speed builds. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified of future videos. But if you also want to see live Sims content or some other game content, right now I am playing Hades 2 over on my Twitch channel. Also going to be playing Pixelborn, which if you know about Lorcana, you know, going to be doing that this Saturday. But we also play a ton of The Sims 4, and that's kind of our standing Tuesday, Thursday game. So I would love to see you in my Twitch chat. My name over there is just Teknikolour, but I will see you in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.